The world is changing faster than ever before. Technologies that seemed permanent are becoming obsolete. Natural wonders are vanishing. Entire industries are being replaced. Cultural practices that define generations are fading away. If you're reading this, you will likely witness the complete disappearance of things that once seemed as permanent as the ground beneath our feet. We're not talking about distant future predictions or science fiction scenarios. These are things already declining, already on their way out, supported by clear trends, expert predictions, and observable changes happening right now. Some disappearances will make life better. Others represent irreplaceable losses. Many will fundamentally change how we live, work, and interact with the world. This is 31 things that will disappear in your lifetime, based on current technological trends, environmental changes, and shifting cultural patterns. Let's explore what's vanishing from our world and what that means for the future. Number 1. Physical cash and coins. Paper money and metal coins have been humanity's primary transaction method for centuries, but their days are numbered. Digital payments, contactless cards, and mobile payment systems are rapidly replacing physical currency. Several countries, including Sweden and China, are already moving toward cashless societies. Younger generations increasingly prefer digital transactions, and businesses save money by not handling physical cash. Within the next few decades, physical currency will likely become rare, used only in specific contexts or by those resistant to change. Central banks are already developing digital currencies to replace physical money entirely. The convenience, security, and tracking capabilities of digital money make this transition nearly inevitable. Your grandchildren may never see a coin or paper bill in regular use. Number 2. Cursive handwriting. Cursive handwriting, once a fundamental skill taught in every school, is disappearing from education systems worldwide. With keyboards, touchscreens, and voice-to-text technology dominating communication, the practical need for cursive has vanished. Many schools no longer teach it, and younger generations cannot read historical documents written in cursive. Within a generation, cursive will likely become a specialized skill like calligraphy, appreciated as an art form but not used in daily life. The ability to read handwritten letters from grandparents or historical documents will require special training. While some argue this represents cultural loss, others see it as natural evolution. Either way, cursive as a common skill is disappearing rapidly. Number 3. Privacy as we knew it. Traditional privacy, the ability to move through the world without being tracked, recorded, or monitored, is vanishing. Surveillance cameras, smartphone tracking, social media data collection, facial recognition, and digital footprints make true anonymity nearly impossible. Every purchase, location, search, and interaction creates data that corporations and governments can access. Within your lifetime, the concept of privacy will transform completely. Younger generations already accept surveillance and data collection as normal. The infrastructure for total monitoring already exists, it's only becoming more comprehensive. Whether this creates a safer, more efficient society or an oppressive surveillance state remains contested, but privacy as previous generations understood it is already gone. Number 4. Glaciers and ice caps. Global warming is causing glaciers and polar ice to melt at accelerating rates. Scientists predict many glaciers will disappear completely within decades. The Arctic ice cap is shrinking dramatically, and Antarctic ice shelves are collapsing. These aren't theoretical future predictions. Satellite images show measurable retreat year after year. If current trends continue, many glaciers that have existed for thousands of years will vanish in your lifetime. This affects water supplies for millions of people, changes ocean currents, raises sea levels, and alters global climate patterns. Mountain communities that depend on glacier melt for water will face crises. Some glaciers have already crossed tipping points and cannot recover regardless of future actions. We are witnessing geological changes that will reshape the planet. Number 5. Physical media stores. Record stores, video rental shops, and bookstores are disappearing as digital distribution replaces physical media. Streaming services, digital downloads, and ebooks have made physical stores largely obsolete. Younger generations often never buy physical media at all, consuming everything digitally. Within your lifetime, physical media stores will become rare specialty shops if they exist at all. The concept of going to a store to rent a movie or buy an album will seem as outdated as telegraph offices. While some collectors will preserve physical media, mainstream consumption has moved permanently to digital platforms. This shift changes not just how we consume media, but also our relationship with ownership and permanence. Number 6. Coral reefs. Ocean warming and acidification are killing coral reefs worldwide. Scientists predict that if current trends continue, most coral reefs will die within the next few decades. Reefs that have existed for thousands of years are bleaching and dying at unprecedented rates. The Great Barrier Reef has already lost significant portions, and recovery seems unlikely. Coral reefs support extraordinary biodiversity and provide food and income for millions of people. Their disappearance will cause ecological collapse in ocean ecosystems and economic disaster for coastal communities. Some scientists are attempting to preserve coral through breeding programs and artificial reefs, but these efforts cannot replace natural reef systems. If you want to see living coral reefs, you should go soon. They may not exist much longer. Number 7. Manual transmission cars. Manual transmission vehicles are disappearing from roads, especially in developed countries. Automatic transmissions have become more efficient and easier to use, and electric vehicles don't have traditional transmissions at all. Most new drivers never learn to operate manual transmissions, and manufacturers are phasing them out. Within your lifetime, manual transmissions will become rare, found only in classic cars and specialty vehicles. The skill of driving stick shift will become obsolete, something older generations remember but younger generations never learn. This represents the automation of yet another task that once required human skill and attention. For some, this is pure progress. For others, it's the loss of connection between driver and machine. Number 8. Landline telephones. Traditional landline telephones are rapidly disappearing, as mobile phones make them redundant. Many young people have never had a landline and see no reason to get one. Telecommunications companies are reducing landline infrastructure, and households are disconnecting service. Within decades, landline phones will be almost entirely gone from homes, remaining only in some offices and specialized applications. The familiar sound of a ringing house phone will become a nostalgic memory. Phone numbers will be permanently attached to individuals rather than locations. The landline's disappearance reflects broader changes in how we communicate and connect, always mobile, always reachable, never tied to a specific place. Number 9. Cursive signatures. Beyond cursive writing generally, even the specific practice of signing your name in cursive is disappearing. Digital signatures, biometric authentication, and electronic verification are replacing handwritten signatures. Many transactions that once required signatures now use PIN codes, fingerprints, or facial recognition. Young people increasingly sign documents with simple printed names or digital approximations. Banks and institutions are moving toward authentication methods that don't require signatures at all. Within your lifetime, the handwritten signature will likely become legally obsolete, replaced by more secure digital methods. Your signature, that unique personal mark that has identified you on important documents, will become unnecessary. Number 10. Checks and checkbooks. Personal checks are disappearing as electronic payments replace them. Many young people have never written a check and wouldn't know how. Businesses increasingly refuse checks or charge fees to accept them because processing costs exceed electronic alternatives. Within your lifetime, personal checks will likely disappear entirely from everyday use. The checkbook that once symbolized adult financial responsibility will become an obsolete artifact. Some institutions may maintain check systems for specific purposes, but for regular transactions, checks will vanish. This change reflects broader digitization of finance, making transactions faster and more trackable but also more vulnerable to system failures. Number 11. Ownership of media and software. The concept of owning media, software, or digital content is disappearing, replaced by subscription services and licensing. You no longer buy music, movies, or software. You rent access through services that can revoke at any time. Games, books, and applications are licensed, not owned, even when you pay for them. This shift from ownership to access will continue expanding. Physical collections of movies, music, and books are becoming obsolete as streaming services dominate. Software moved to subscription models. Even physical products increasingly require subscriptions to maintain functionality. Within your lifetime, true ownership of digital content may disappear entirely, replaced by temporary access controlled by corporations. This fundamentally changes the relationship between consumers and content. Number 12. The ability to repair your own devices. Modern devices are increasingly designed to prevent user repair. Sealed construction, proprietary screws, serialized parts, and software locks make independent repair difficult or impossible. Manufacturers push consumers toward replacement rather than repair, and right-to-repair laws struggle against corporate lobbying. Within your lifetime, the ability to fix your own electronics will likely disappear entirely for most people. Devices will become completely sealed units that must be replaced when they fail. The culture of tinkering and repair that previous generations took for granted will vanish. This creates dependence on manufacturers and generates enormous electronic waste, but it also reflects devices becoming more complex and integrated. The backyard mechanic or home electronics repair person will become nearly extinct. Number 13. Bees and pollinators. Bee populations are collapsing worldwide due to pesticides, habitat loss, climate change, and disease. Other pollinators face similar threats. Scientists have documented dramatic declines, with some regions losing most of their bee populations. Without pollinators, many crops cannot reproduce, threatening food security. If current trends continue, many pollinator species will disappear in your lifetime. This could trigger an agricultural crisis, requiring artificial pollination or crop changes. Some areas are already experiencing pollinator shortages affecting yields. Efforts to protect pollinators through habitat preservation and pesticide regulation show mixed results. The disappearance of bees represents broader ecosystem collapse, with consequences we are only beginning to understand. Number 14. Snow in many regions. Climate change is reducing snowfall in many regions that historically had reliable snow. Ski resorts at lower elevations are closing. Cities that once had snowy winters now see mostly rain. Mountain snowpack that provides summer water is diminishing. Within your lifetime, many areas will see snow become rare or disappear entirely. Children in regions that once had snow every winter may grow up never experiencing it. This affects not just recreation but water supplies, agriculture, and ecosystems adapted to seasonal snow. Some regions will maintain snow, but the reliable winter snowfall that shaped culture and economy in many areas is vanishing. Number 15. The ozone layer hole recovery complete. Wait, this one is actually disappearing in a good way. The ozone hole over Antarctica, caused by chlorofluorocarbons, is healing due to international action through the Montreal Protocol. Scientists predict full recovery within your lifetime, likely by mid-century. This represents one of humanity's successful environmental interventions. The ozone hole's disappearance shows that international cooperation and science-based policy can solve global environmental problems. It's a rare positive story of something harmful disappearing because humans took action. The healed ozone layer will protect future generations from increased ultraviolet radiation and demonstrates that environmental damage isn't always permanent. Number 16. Driver's licenses for most people. As autonomous vehicles improve, the need for human drivers will diminish. Self-driving cars are already being tested, and technology continues advancing. Within decades, manually driving may become unusual, restricted, or even illegal in many areas. If you're young, you may be among the last generations to routinely drive yourself. Your children or grandchildren might never get driver's licenses, viewing manual driving as unnecessarily dangerous and inefficient. The independence and coming-of-age ritual associated with learning to drive will disappear. Cities designed around human drivers will transform. This change will affect employment, urban planning, and personal freedom in ways we're only beginning to understand. Number 17. Fax machines. Fax machines, once essential business tools, are nearly extinct. Email, digital signatures, and document scanning have made faxing obsolete. Only certain industries and bureaucracies maintain fax systems, often because regulations haven't updated. Within your lifetime, fax machines will disappear completely except perhaps in museums. Young people already view faxing as bizarrely antiquated technology. The few remaining fax uses will transition to digital alternatives. The distinctive sound of fax machine handshaking will become forgotten auditory memory, like dial-up modem sounds. The fax machine's disappearance illustrates how quickly essential technology can become obsolete. Number 18. Rainforests. Tropical rainforests are being destroyed at alarming rates through logging, agriculture, and development. The Amazon rainforest, often called Earth's lungs, is approaching a tipping point where it may transform into savanna. Other rainforests face similar threats. If deforestation continues at current rates, significant portions of rainforest will disappear in your lifetime. This represents catastrophic biodiversity loss, climate change acceleration, and destruction of indigenous cultures. Some protected areas may survive, but the vast connected rainforest ecosystems are fragmenting and shrinking. Efforts to slow deforestation show limited success against economic pressures. The disappearance of rainforests will alter global climate and cause extinctions we cannot fully predict. Number 19. Affordable retirement. The traditional model of retiring at 65 and living comfortably on savings and pensions is disappearing. Pension systems are underfunded or eliminated. Social security programs face demographic pressures. Life expectancy increases mean longer retirement periods requiring more savings, while wage stagnation makes saving harder. For younger generations, traditional retirement may become unaffordable or impossible. Many will work into their 70s or 80s not by choice but by necessity. The concept of retirement as a distinct life phase with financial security may disappear for most people. This reflects fundamental changes in economics, demographics, and social contracts. Only the wealthy may afford true retirement, while most work until they cannot anymore. Number 20. Permanent coastal cities. Sea level rise threatens coastal cities worldwide. Even with aggressive climate action, some rise is inevitable due to past emissions. Low-lying cities and island nations face existential threats. By century's end, many coastal areas will be underwater or require enormous infrastructure to protect. Within your lifetime, you may see major coastal cities either disappear beneath water or transform into fortified zones behind massive sea walls. Some cities will be abandoned. Others will adapt through expensive engineering. Pacific island nations may cease to exist as habitable land. Hundreds of millions of people may become climate refugees. The world map will literally change as coastlines move inland. Number 21. Cursive signatures on credit cards. Credit cards are moving away from signature strips entirely. Chip and PIN technology, contactless payments, and biometric authentication are replacing signatures. Many merchants no longer check signatures, rendering them pointless security theater. Within your lifetime, credit card signatures will disappear entirely. Cards may not even have signature strips. The ritual of signing for purchases will become obsolete. This is another small piece of the physical analog world being replaced by digital authentication. It reflects broader trust shifts from personal marks to encrypted verification systems. Number 22. Physical keys. Traditional metal keys are being replaced by electronic locks, smartphone access, biometric readers, and keyless entry systems. Cars increasingly use proximity sensors instead of keys. Homes adopt smart locks. Hotels use electronic key cards or smartphone apps. Within your lifetime, traditional physical keys may largely disappear, replaced by digital access systems. The familiar key ring will become obsolete. This offers convenience but also creates new vulnerabilities. You can't hack a mechanical lock remotely, but you can hack electronic ones. The physical key, essentially unchanged for centuries, will join other mechanical technologies in obsolescence. Number 23. The ability to be truly offline. The expectation that people can be truly offline and unreachable is disappearing. Always-on connectivity through smartphones and internet makes constant availability the norm. Being unreachable is increasingly viewed as suspicious or rude rather than normal. Within your lifetime, true disconnection will become nearly impossible without deliberate effort to go off-grid. Work, social, and family expectations will assume constant connectivity. The boundary between work and personal life will further erode. Younger generations already experience this. They have never known a world where they could be genuinely unavailable. The right to disconnect will become a deliberate choice requiring active resistance rather than a default state. Number 24. The concept of a fixed career. The traditional model of learning a trade or profession and working in that field for life is disappearing. Rapid technological change makes skills obsolete. The gig economy replaces stable employment with temporary contracts. Automation eliminates entire job categories while creating new ones. Younger generations will likely have multiple careers, constantly retraining for new fields. The idea of a single lifelong career path will seem as outdated as lifetime employment at one company already does. This creates flexibility but also insecurity. Workers must constantly adapt or become obsolete. The stable career that defined middle-class life for generations is vanishing, replaced by permanent adaptation and uncertainty. Number 25. Anonymity in public spaces. The ability to move through public spaces anonymously is disappearing. Surveillance cameras with facial recognition, license plate readers, smartphone tracking, and data correlation mean movements can be tracked constantly. In many cities, it's essentially impossible to avoid being recorded. Within your lifetime, public anonymity will likely disappear entirely in urban areas. Every movement will be trackable and potentially recorded. This has implications for protest, dissent, and personal freedom. Whether this creates a safer society or enables oppression depends on who controls the data and how it's used. But the ability to move through the world untracked and unrecorded is already largely gone. Number 26. Natural darkness in populated areas. Light pollution is eliminating natural darkness from populated regions. Artificial light from cities, streets, and development means many people never experience true darkness. The Milky Way, visible to all previous generations, is now invisible to most people due to light pollution. This affects not just astronomy, but also ecosystems and human health. Many animals depend on darkness for navigation and behavior. Humans evolved with natural light cycles that artificial light disrupts. Within your lifetime, natural darkness may disappear entirely from developed regions, becoming something experienced only in remote areas. The night sky that inspired countless generations will be invisible to most people. Number 27. Elephant and rhino species. Despite conservation efforts, elephants and rhinos remain critically threatened by poaching and habitat loss. African elephant populations have plummeted. Several rhino species are functionally extinct, surviving only in captivity. Without dramatic intervention, some species will disappear in your lifetime. This represents broader megafauna collapse. Large animals that defined landscapes for millions of years are vanishing within decades. Efforts to protect them through parks and anti-poaching face enormous challenges. Some species may survive only in zoos. Your grandchildren may know elephants and rhinos only from pictures and videos like you know dinosaurs. The disappearance of these iconic animals would represent profound loss of natural heritage. Number 28. Predictable seasons. Climate change is making seasons less predictable and distinct. Traditional seasonal patterns that guided agriculture and cultural practices for millennia are shifting. Spring arrives earlier, winters are milder, extreme weather occurs in unexpected seasons. Within your lifetime, reliable seasonal patterns may disappear in many regions. This affects not just agriculture but also ecosystems timed to seasonal changes. Birds migrate at wrong times for food availability. Plants bloom before pollinators arrive. Traditional knowledge about seasons becomes less reliable. The predictable cycle of seasons that shaped human culture may become chaotic and unreliable. Number 29. The family dinner table. Communal family meals eaten together at a table are declining. Busy schedules, individual food preferences, streaming entertainment, and smartphones pull families apart. Many homes don't even have dining tables, eating instead on couches or in separate rooms. This represents broader fragmentation of shared family time and rituals. While some families maintain dinner traditions, they're becoming unusual rather than normal. The dinner table as a site of family conversation, education, and bonding is disappearing. Younger generations may grow up never experiencing regular family dinners. This affects not just nutrition but social development and family cohesion. Number 30. Personal photo albums. Physical photo albums filled with printed pictures are nearly extinct. Digital photos live on phones, computers, and cloud services, but are rarely printed or organized into albums. The ritual of looking through family photo albums is disappearing. This creates abundance. People take thousands of photos, but also fragility. Digital files can be lost in crashes or forgotten in obsolete formats. Physical albums survive for generations, digital photos may not. The curated family album with carefully chosen and arranged photos is being replaced by vast unorganized digital collections that no one actually looks at. This changes how we preserve and remember family history. Number 31. Quiets. True quiet, the absence of mechanical and electronic sound, is disappearing from human experience. Engine noise, electronics, HVAC systems, and ambient technology create constant background sound. Many people never experience genuine silence, and some find it unsettling when they do. In populated areas, natural quiet is becoming extinct. Even remote areas face noise pollution from aircraft. Younger generations may grow up never experiencing true silence. This affects mental health, concentration, and relationship with the natural world. The disappearance of quiet represents the colonization of sound space by human technology. Within your lifetime, silence may become a luxury good, experienced only in special quiet zones or expensive retreats. So there you have it, 31 things that will likely disappear in your lifetime, ranging from technologies and cultural practices to natural wonders and species. Some of these disappearances represent progress. Others represent irreplaceable losses. Many are complex, bringing both benefits and costs. What makes this list particularly significant is that these aren't distant possibilities or science fiction scenarios. These changes are already happening, supported by clear trends and expert predictions. If you're young, you'll probably see all of these disappear. If you're older, you'll see most of them vanish before you die. We are living through a period of unprecedented change. Some of these disappearances are inevitable consequences of technological progress. Manual transmissions, physical media, and landline phones serve their purpose and are being replaced by better alternatives. Few people mourn the obsolescence of fax machines. Other disappearances represent serious losses we should try to prevent. Species extinctions, ecosystem collapse, and the destruction of natural wonders cannot be undone. The disappearing things on this list shape our lives in ways we often don't recognize until they're gone. We adapt quickly to change, but we also lose connections to the past and to the natural world. Each disappearance reshapes human experience, sometimes subtly and sometimes dramatically. Our grandchildren will live in a world profoundly different from the one we know. These changes raise important questions. What are we willing to accept disappearing? What should we fight to preserve? How do we balance progress with conservation? There are no simple answers, but recognizing what we're losing is the first step toward making conscious choices about the future rather than passively accepting whatever happens. Which disappearance concerns you most? Are there things on this list you'll be happy to see go? What else do you think will disappear that we didn't mention? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspectives on what's vanishing from our world. If you found this exploration of disappearing things thought-provoking, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more content about how our world is changing. Thank you for watching, and remember, pay attention to the world around you now. The things you take for granted today may be gone tomorrow, and someday you'll want to tell younger generations what the world used to be like.